Have you ever wanted to play your console but have it on your monitor or display of your computer? Let's say you're like me and you have your console in like the living room and you have an office or bedroom dedicated to where you keep your computer. You know, you have like a decent graphics card, but you don't really feel like playing computer games. I just want to play my console. Let's say you're like me. I don't really like using PS Remote Play either. It's fine, but there's a little bit of lag. And Xbox Game Pass is cool on the PC, but again, you're limited to what's available on the actual Xbox Game Pass PC version. For me, I like just playing the games I already have, I already play every day in the living room, and I want to be able to just sometimes stream it, for Twitch or whatever. Well, as the title may have already told you, Razer actually has a product for you. This is called the Razer Ripsaw, and it is Razer Ripsaw HD actually. This is a device that's basically like a capture pass-through card, and it's really good for anybody who wants to stream but doesn't have like a really great graphics card. If you have one that's good enough to use your streaming software on, perfectly fine. This was like 160, I want to say 180, and it makes it so that I can actually put my HDMI in from my console and have it display out to my actual display as long as HDCP settings on your console aren't turned on. Um, it displays in 1080p, which is fine. Like when I say display, I mean displays and like records in 1080p. Display as far as what I see when I'm playing the game on my actual monitor, it actually can show, or I guess the word is display, up to 4K at 60 frames. So it's pretty smooth, pretty decent, and it was good for the price, I would say. There were a couple cheaper options out there, but Razer was a brand I knew and that I trust. Now, this model comes with Type C right here for power, HDMI in and HDMI out. I believe I did that right. Yep. In from your actual console and out to the display itself. My experience with this has been pretty decent. I can't really complain except for one small thing, and it depends on who you are. This might be small. When I plug it in and use it on my computer, it's fine for the most part. But after the second or third game session, it just won't display my actual console for a little while. Now, that, mind you, might be on me because I've recently gotten a new graphics card and I have not reinstalled my software on my computer for a long time. So it might be a software thing on my end. I'm just saying this for anybody as a precautionary thing. My experience might be unique. I'm not 100% sure. But other than that, really no complaints so far. But that's not all. There's actually another component to this. Before I get into that, I'll tell you what's included. It's pretty simple. The Ripsaw itself comes in the box. It's a pretty nice box. I don't have it anymore to show you, but it has like this foam inside of it. It's green and black, just like Razer's branding and color for everything. It comes with a Razer Ripsaw HDMI and a Type C. I believe it's Type C to Type C or Type C to Type A. I'm not 100% sure because it's still plugged into the backside of my computer. And I don't want to take it out for the fear that I will lose it. Now, what the other component that you don't have for this yet is usually an HDMI, which is fine. Most of us have them. But the reason I said you might not have it is because if you're like me and you want to stream from another room, you can just buy like a long one. But let's say you need more than 10, 15 feet. HDMI, after about 20 or 30 feet from what I know, the signal gets a little choppy and messed up, and it just doesn't display properly. Now, when I bought this, I took that into consideration and I looked into options for a longer HDMI cable that won't actually lose as much of that definition or lose that picture. And I ended up getting a 8K HDMI cable, which might not actually be 8K. Like, it's just a really long cable that says it's 8K because it is technically not a regular HDMI. Let me look up what it's called. So the HDMI cable I bought is a normal HDMI on each end, but the cable itself is actually a fiber optic HDMI cable, which is a little more expensive. It uses those glass fiber optic cables inside of it. Though that would probably make some think it's pretty sensitive. It's pretty tough in my opinion. Mine that I bought was about 75 feet and it was pretty expensive. It was about 170 or 180. But the amount of clarity in the basically the drop off in frames or the difference in, let's say, lag that I've had has been non-existent. Um, a regular 75 foot or anything over 30, 50 feet HDMI cable would either fail or just absolutely look horrible, but this thing has been really awesome. The setup is pretty simple. With talking about the components in it, I kind of already told you how to actually set it up. You would plug in the Type-C to your computer, and well, the Type-C side to your Ripsaw, and then the other side to the computer. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure if it's Type-C on the other end. I'm pretty sure it's Type-A still. And then your HDMI in from your console or from whatever you want to display. And then your HDMI out to your actual display. Simple as that. Now, it will show up in something like Streamlabs, which is what I use. And you can, what I use to actually play on twitch.tv/Topher. You can come watch me anytime. And this is what I'm probably going to be using if you see me streaming like Elden Ring, which just came out. But it just comes up as like a game capture device, which is really convenient for the software. You don't really have to do a setup. If you've had any of Razer's hardware in the past, you probably have Razer Synapse or a similar Razer-based app on your computer or device. That can be used to just kind of register the device, and it will see it in there as a device that's attached, but it's not something that you need to use to set up any specialized settings or anything of that nature. As a tip though, as somebody who, if you're someone who never has streamed or has never set up a device like this before, like I've had Elgato's in the past, so I kind of know you have to have the software for it. Razer doesn't make a specific streaming software for this device. You will need a software like OBS. Open Broadcast Systems, if you're not familiar, a very popular streaming or game recording platform for people on YouTube, as well as Streamlabs. That's a secondary version of OBS if you want more of like a streaming version that can also record like what I'm using now. You can also use, I would imagine you could probably use Elgato software as well. And there's probably a bunch of other open source software, kind of like OBS or third party other than OBS software that you can use. But I like Streamlabs. Streamlabs works pretty well for me. I can't really complain about it. Once you actually pick your software that you want to use to stream or to record or what have you, you'll basically go in, and once you get to move around in that software, you'll learn that you have to add sources. Sources being a camera, a console, a screen from your computer that you want to record, the microphone, etc. The actual Ripsaw will be a very similar one. You just go in and add a source and add it. Typically, mine comes up as a game capture. Sometimes similar devices or similar softwares can bring this up as a video capture. Same difference, really. The software that is in the Ripsaw actually pushes out the audio as well. I don't know if I showed you guys, but the device itself actually has outputs on the front for a microphone and for headphones. Now the microphone, I have not used the output for that, or the input rather for that. I would imagine that's just to speak in game. I'm not 100% sure, to be completely honest with you. Maybe there's a tertiary use for it that I'm not aware of. But I've only used the headphone input. The reason for that to be used on this device rather than, let's say, using my PS5 controller to listen to audio through my headphones is the audio from your console will not come through the Ripsaw automatically. The Ripsaw is not an audio device. It is literally just to stream it to whatever computer you're using, and then the computer will be able to transmit that audio with the Open Broadcast software or the Streamlabs software to your stream or to your recording, which is great, but it does not then submit it to like your speakers on your computer. It doesn't work that way. You can set it up to do so. You can probably take the auxiliary plug from your speakers on your computer or whatever device you have, if they're not built in, and then plug it in to one of these jacks. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of wearing headphones all the time, but for this situation, I do, because that is the only way for me to really get audio. Typically, I go for like a smaller earbud or like a padded headphone, because a lot of gaming, quote unquote, headphones kind of, give me a little bit of a headache sometimes. That's another con to this, whole setup for me personally. But to be fair, it's kind of advertised as one of those products for like the gamer guys who play COD and who will have a setup on already, a headset on already, who will have headphones already, or the people who play, you don't play Valorant on console, but who play Valorant, and let's say you're streaming it through another device you use for your, for your gaming rather than the computer you're playing on. You bring it to a friend's house or something of that nature just to kind of capture it. It's kind of advertised for that, and I would imagine, in my opinion, since it was also made for streaming and or for game recording, pushing out that audio to whatever device's speakers is going to overwhelm the sound on the actual recording or the stream. Like, you're going to get double sound and the audience is going to hate it, and it's going to be an issue anyways. So I imagine that's the reason for that. But again, just like another tip or trick to let you guys know. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have on this device. I really like it so far. And the HDMI cable that I bought was actually from a brand called Monoprice. For both of these products, I will put Amazon affiliate links in the description. If you buy anything from there, I'm going to set, I already have like an Amazon seller account set up. They're not from me specifically, but if you choose to buy anything in those links, I get a little kickback money from that, and I really appreciate it. So, let me know if you guys like this video. If you have any questions or anything you think I might be able to answer, just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching, and just, let me know if you have any ideas for what I should do next, or if you like this video. Thank you so much. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out, party people.